Welcome to my masterclass. Now, today we're talking about real estate. Is real estate a safe and realistic alternative to preserving your wealth with the Naira crash? Now, I talked about buying dollars to preserve your wealth, your family wealth. I talked about buying BUSD, avoiding USDT, and I talked about investing in gold. And I taught you guys step by step guides on how to do all of these. But then some of you have written back to me, have put in the comment section, what about real estate? Is real estate a realistic way to go? Now, here's the thing. For the moment, right now, real estate is a very bad idea to preserving your wealth in Nigeria. Now, look at what I'm using, preserving your wealth. Now, if you want to build or buy a property so that you can live in, you and your family, and avoid paying rent, now, that's a good idea. But if you're thinking of investing in real estate as a way to preserving your wealth, it's a bad idea. Nigeria right now is like Greece, Greece, the real estate market in Greece, kept on depreciating and depreciating. Why? Because of the economy, because of the way the economy has been going, inflation rates and stuff like that. So I'll give you a very good example with myself. I bought a property in Abuja. When I bought that property in Abuja, it was worth about, I think maybe, hold on a second, let me see. It was about $150,000. And then, after about some years, the property went down to, and in terms of in naira terms, the property, it held its value. If it even maybe appreciated by about a million or two, but then it ultimately it was now worth I think $48,000 in naira terms because of the devaluation of the naira. And so you see, if I'm thinking about naira, that property has increased in value by maybe about 1 or 2 million. But if I'm thinking about real terms, that property has grossly, depreciated in value. So I sold the property. My sister was telling me, oh, no, 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 don't sell it right now, don't sell it right now, because she had her own property. I sold it. Now, I think it's just about a year, not up to a year afterwards, what I sold it for, I could actually use half of the money to buy my own sister's property in the same premises. So you see, it's not a good idea to invest in real estate right now in Nigeria. It's not a good idea because real estate is about location, and then you can't divorce real estate from what's happening in the location. So if you see, I don't know if you saw the papers yesterday, it was in all the papers. The World Bank is predicting, or rather forecasting, that Nigeria will experience the highest inflation in the whole world this year, the highest inflation in the whole world this year. Now, prior to that, Fitch Rating, which is an independent rating agency, which is the biggest rating agency in the whole world, had forecasted that Nigeria's debt service to income ratio is going to be 395% this year, which is probably the highest in the whole world. So when you look at that, you think about inflation. Let's say you spend 50 million naira buying a house. Let's say if you spend 57 million naira buying a house right now, 57 million naira. Now that money is equivalent to 100,000 naira. And then you keep that house. And then the naira is devalued, as we forecast is going to be devalued at the end of maybe by the end of this year to about 700 naira to one. So maybe that property appreciates in your eyes in naira terms to 60 million. Now that 60 million will not be equivalent to $100,000 that you bought the house in dollar term, although it looks like it's appreciated in naira terms. So it's not a good idea for preserving wealth. Now, if your idea is to preserve wealth, it's not a good idea. Some people have asked me, what about shortlets? What about shortlets? You see, the shortlet business is something that I've really studied. Some of you saw my video when I went to Wisconsin to investigate how a lot of people were making money from Airbnb and other shortlet ideas. See, in Nigeria, the biggest market for shortletting was Lagos, or rather is Lagos. And the reason why it was Lagos is because of Ikotun, Egbe, and Ejigbo area. And the reason why it was Ikotun, Egbe, and Ejigbo area, and we've got data to back this up, is because the number one driver for tourism into Nigeria was the Synagogue Church of All Nations of, what's his name, Prophet T.B. Joshua. And so now, since Prophet T.B. Joshua's death, the church was shut down for a while. There was some crisis. I think now the church has stabilized. It's affected tourism, religious tourism into Nigeria. And then it has affected the short letting market. It's kind of like really crashed in that area. Now, you see, you notice, I'm sure you were expecting me to say the short let market was booming in areas like Ikoyi, Lekki. That's not how real estate works. Real estate works with location, location, location. So the location that was booming was Ikotuegbe and Ejibo. Now, those other areas, Ikoyi, Lekki, they were booming, but it was seasonal. So when diaspora Nigerians return, December, January, it booms, and then it just falls for the rest of the year. So even that market, the short-let market, has crashed severely. So if you're investing in real estate for a purpose of preserving your wealth, it's not a good idea right now. Go and study what happened in Greece. In fact, I was invited to buy a house in Greece. I was actually planning to buy it until my friend, told me, look, just research it. And I researched it, and I just realized that the person, and that person was actually related to me, was just trying to just make quick money out of me. And the same thing is going to happen to you if you invest in real estate market in Nigeria. The real estate market in Nigeria is highly susceptible to inflation, to devaluation. What you want to do is you want to put your money in dollars or in BUSD, which is Binance USD, which is a digitized US dollars, or in the gold ETF. Those are the very, very best ways of preserving your wealth. Now, if you want to try some risk, you can invest in cryptocurrency. You can make a lot of money from cryptocurrency. I think beginning of last year, you had a currency like Ethereum that was about $200 for one ETH. That's ETH. Right now, Ethereum is, I believe, $4,100. That's $4,100. So you can see that is 2,000%, more than 2,000% return of your investment. You can do that, but there is risk. But a more reliable, a more stable, there's still some risk, but the risk is hedged, is dollars, BUSD, and gold. My name is Randall Mokri. If you've watched this and you have questions, put them in the comment section. And remember, I don't have a WhatsApp forum or a Telegram channel or a Gmail email address. Thank you for watching, and God bless you.